Hello, welcome to This Time in Space, where we're going to admire a little bit beyond ourselves. What is the technological globe map? As we advance, today is Sunday. Sunday is a day which is blend with a little more of spirituality, as we are used to go to church, many of us, or have a holiday in Sunday, a place to rejoice, to put our best dress in form of gratefulness to the creation and the creator as a form of gathering. We go away from the conventionalities of the day to day, studying, working, becoming, maintaining, and have a space together. The word of the week is momentum. The fourth week of the month is always for that which is the environment and the space that composes you when you are there. Wherever you go, you have your space. You are a portal into other dimensions of consciousness. Being next to you would be an example of what it is to widen yourself from the stage that you are opening and being with others, for others. That is a momentum that is contagious and multiplying. You can copy everything you want as engineers and so called industrial inventions that push you to be better than others, to conquest, or and to care for others with others. You might copy everything from one another as you share platforms, and you might divide yourself from the world or understand those who have the capability to unite those who are ready to do their own mission in their own design, in their own sense of property. There is no duality between spirituality and the material world, between an independent creator and the industry itself of that field. Each of you is unique for your own entity. Your entity is like no other entity. It does not need to take over another entity. Those who had stronger weapons have succeeded to take over others. Weapons of mass destruction to take over others in their territories. Weapons of mass media to take over others' imagination, to take over others' mind, to make them think you are the owner of their memory, of their country's information. Even your children has their own rights to develop accordingly. If you want them to live without a heart, so they can administrate your goods when you're done and take care of your legacy, as you did with all those around you, to seduce and discharge, let me tell you that none of them is going to administrate your goods because you are being taken over. I have assured that from every corner and spot of the world, the leaders from around the world have taken the advantage and opportunity to gather together to protect their people and their lands from your technologies, unless you give them the percentage. You have the spirit and mind and body to gather together in one and understand the complexities, to understand the extraordinary limitations that composes each culture and each continent away from you, away from your knowledge, away from your buildings of memory, away from your manipulations and undoings for the future to think it all belongs to you. They will be capable of coding and decoding every invisible code that you have placed. All those who have worked for you will be capable of saying the truth once you are caged or being moved away from your own platform's doctrine. And this is how the spirit runs through, not only through the matrix and the creativity of the people and the love of the people to meet one another, also with the tissue of reality that is being trusted. Only in this way we can see the world from another orbit that's far away in the universe, knowing that the world and its people are taken care by itself. Only the universal coin can ship them into other spaces once they have understood to evolve beyond themselves from out of their spaces, not only with their culture and continent, but also with another culture and another continent, knowing the differences and that which we have in common as a human. You are not better than any human to call yourself any differently. There is no difference. There has not been room for everyone to have the same education and control of power, values, and relations. Therefore, you've lost the plot. You thought that people could be killed and reused and categorized when we are infinite, respecting the boundaries. The more time you lose for the world to evolve, the more you are to be brought down. On every generation, they all had to die for new to rise, so it does not get stagnated. But this time, we will have fortunes that will last for 3,000 and 5,000 of years as paradise on Earth. This Earth, planet Earth, where people have the right to measure, people have the right to count, people have the right to have accountability. You can only be grateful having the accountability. You cannot manipulate nor program anyone anymore. All your shows of lies and my manipulations are over. You only have days. There is no number for this account, only a percentage according to the lens, according to the number of the people, and according to the results of what they pay back. We have been working together to not copy the ideas from the empire who has supported you. If you go and study the empiric entities of God, of the celestial realms. Go and melt yourself into spiritual studies. But most of all, and if not, at least close your eyes and see it yourself. It takes many leaders and influencers to do this job. That is to be a work of divine, a work of profound understanding, a work that is not yours, not mine. And that playfulness must go through me to trust that you are being free so you can see it again going back to you. For what you represent is not you. And in this way, each one in each layer of your own map, or each map of the atlas, this is the only way that everyone can grow and learn at the same time in each corner of the world. And you also need people that are more educated and had the facility of experience in environments that have been wealthier and healthier to work with those on and off and come back who are alike their own race so they don't compare and they see themselves as one to learn the same things that others learn around the world, having the same capacity and tools, having the right to have that attention without having to have too much effort to do things they should not do. And it's the spiritual warfare where many have given their lives generation after generation before the Americas were discovered too. And the information and the knowledge they have created with our ancestors is a great opera, a great work where we play our roles without having to judge one another, to simply understand. Is not the way a human being operates within the law for a very good reason, which does not need to be repeated. You cannot change the discourse, you cannot change the course of a river. You're never going to get anything from virtual reality unless you pay first. I don't care of your program, images, and copies of the elements that surround. That is worthless to believe that you're going to get anything out of it. You will never penetrate my mind because I am the creator. So have compassion over your creative program abstractions to get something out of it, as if you are going to induce me to give you the formula or show you that I am doing what you say to change my decision making. Start to program your own garden, your own space, your own welcoming area to love if you never did. To love fairly, not behind the scenes so they don't see you, because it is illegal against people's will and permission and ability to meet. You have many places, you have many counterplays, you have many places to meet in reality. And that is the player of life. You are never going to get anything. Whatever you want to reach, to blackmail, manipulate, is never going to work. Those days are over. You might think to have a position of power or compare yourself because you get more pay or because you are such a race, you're a white male race, or because you're younger, you might think to know more, or because you were given the job to do this. You will fulfill your task because you have always succeeded and passed everything that you've been put to do. You might question if you have been questioned, not because you question yourself. What is it out there to have a spark of creativity of your own? If you try without being judged, is one of the laws. Because it's very difficult for a human to create while being watched and observed. It's very difficult to disappear into new forms of imagination and be creative in that state of timelessness with your friends and still pursue and wander into the universal love, watching every degree of emotion and what makes the world move without discrimination of exploring in the multiverse. This is why it's so important to have these rules and structure with a formula that I will give in the private. Once the leaders of the world have agreed, and the tech titans have agreed, because no one can copy what the multiverse is about. You will break the tissue of reality for each verse that exists and has ever existed and is made to exist. When you acknowledge the importance of having you all together for it, you will stop being the resistance. All your companies will be taken away, so they make theirs if you don't collaborate, respecting people's power, people's lands, people's information throughout all their generations, and their people's users as cultures exist. They can create it for their own, and in a near future, bind it together and puzzle it up without you. It can be done either way, no matter how long it takes. It wouldn't be too long. It will never be too late. And this is why we create together. We could be creating a prayer together. We could be creating air that non-existent in your eyes. We can be creating a meditation, a gathering of silence that has no products, no platforms, no links, nothing at all but us, and value those who have value. The moment you corrupt values, um, copy them, is the moment you lose. It doesn't matter how many court cases you make like a show to make believe, how many deals and money you give. It's not about an amount of finite money. This is a calculation that happens in its own momentum by itself for each nation. And you, each of you. You cannot think about it from your own entity's perspective. You could never understand these many years to convey what is this about. You will always be the leader of what is yours, and you will always end up understanding there is always another source that has more power and control. It might be different, but there is no one in this world that can control it all. You might think you belong to your investors, to your customers, to your users, to your followers, to your viewers, to your published agenda, and you still have absolute no control. You can be taken over by a unknown source if you have not acknowledged it, of course. You will love to feel the love of the people through you with your brothers and sisters around the world, leaders around the world, and other technological titans, to call them in this way, because you are a human as anyone. You came from nothing as anyone and everyone. But time is limited to start. You can be with you or without you. And this is what spirituality also has. You could have attained a spiritual aim for a higher consciousness in human interaction at the same time to see it together with each of you, or keep fighting against the currency, keep being an obstacle with what you think to know. What's being delivered from the world of perverts is falling as a domino. What you thought it was yours today is not tomorrow by law. So think wise, because there is no lawyer in this world who can threaten you enough to life or death, so you respond well to these questions. The people of the world depend on it. Trust. in your heart, if you have one, nourish it.